Hello, friends. I hope you're doing well and taking care of yourself. This week, I'm starting my new temporary job as a bookseller, and I'm so excited. It has really sunk in that my life will be very different next year, possibly in a new home. Much of the last 4 years, I've spent living alone in various places, sometimes by choice, other times because I felt I had nowhere to go. Thankfully, I've always had some friends or family nearby, but I've still found myself, for the most part, embracing a quiet life, predominantly spent in my own company and on my own terms, at least the time I had away from work. It is a slower sort of life, mostly nature walks and cups of tea and reading books, not too much rush or excitement. But I would say experiencing an overarching contentedness with what daily life has offered me. To start cultivating that feeling, I realized I needed to heal the relationship I had with both my inner self, but also my physical body. This was absolutely crucial to me when years ago I was recovering from an eating disorder and trying to develop a more positive relationship with myself. I remember for a long time, I didn't even use social media because for some reason, I kept being recommended plastic surgery advertisements. Let me know if this happened to you at some point because I felt like I was being haunted. And disturbingly, many of these surgery examples seem to be designed to change common ethnic features that I happen to share with my mother's side of my family. My larger, more protruding and curved nose comes to mind, something that I have grown to love and be very content with, but that wasn't always the case. I also had severe cystic acne, which is a type of skin condition that's extremely painful. Sometimes my face would be so swollen I couldn't open my eyes properly. As someone who was quite fragile and insecure about those very things when they were younger, as many women are socialized to be, it was definitely a sign I needed to unplug for a while until I was in a better place.
So cute.
Through stepping away from those influences at a key point in my life, I decided to try to form a more independent definition of beauty, something far more inclusive than what I held before. It is no longer reliant on weight, on looking a certain way. I can now admire the unique features of others while valuing my own. I still don't feel comfortable in my skin every day, but I think it's important to know that that's normal. Our emotions inevitably change. We cannot be happy every moment of our lives. Neither should we believe difficult moments will last forever. I now look at the change of seasons, of the moon cycles, and all cycles of life and death as evidence that what I feel today will inevitably evolve into something else, and I can choose to believe things can and will get better in time. I've had my ups and downs this year, but I've kept making progress. Recovering from issues with your mind and body relationship takes so much time, and for me, there was a spiritual component I had to resolve as well. As for practical measures, I covered my mirrors for a while, permanently threw out my scale, didn't buy new clothes or do anything focused at all on my body and external self. I read books on the topic and threw myself into new hobbies and interests. I started hiking and instead appreciating what my body could do for me, not how it looked. In my case, that was incredibly healing, and while everyone's journey to self-love is different, I definitely think there's always value in finding new passions and getting creative with how you spend your time. When I put value in things separate from my insecurities over time, it took power away from them. I'm still on that journey, and I've struggled at times to maintain my health. And through that, I've realized how important it is not to expect perfection from ourselves, to recognize the power of your own voice, to have courage in the face of a world that is so scary at times, to see a seed of something beautiful inside each of us. Okay. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. It's been an interesting week over here. There's usually been snow in the morning because it snows overnight, and then it all melts away by the end of the day. So it's been kind of chaotic weather. So I've been enjoying it though. I am always amazed every time the snow comes for the first time because it is so magical just to see everything turn white kind of mysteriously while I'm asleep. It's just really beautiful. It's a very spiritual time, if that makes any sense. It's always kind of this really interesting experience to walk through the snow and just be quiet. And even the animals seem to be reverent during the first snowfall. You know, everything is just so quiet. The event of the week has been that my dog broke his tooth, which if you have a Labrador, let me know if you also have this problem. But when I throw for him, he runs full speed in the direction of the Frisbee, but he doesn't look where he's going. So he starts running while still looking at you, and he runs into things, just smacks full speed. And he smacked into a rock and he broke his tooth, and he doesn't care at all. I didn't even notice until later. I was clipping his toenails and I looked and I saw that the nerve was exposed, and it seemed like it would normally be quite painful, but he apparently has no sense of pain, so he couldn't care less. But I wanted to bring him to the veterinarian and have him checked out. So I don't know if his tooth will need to be pulled or capped. Mr. Darcy also loves this time of year. I like to put him in the garden when it's not snowing, and he eats all the little leftover dead plants, and he frolics, and he just has such a good time. So yeah, it's wonderful. I don't know if you guys, I think I mentioned this before, but Mr. Darcy is a senior. He's a really, really old rabbit, and I personally think he looks very well for his age and has aged very gracefully, but he is very, very old. And so I do get a little worried about him in the winter because he does need to spend a little more time than usual indoors, and he just loves being outside. And I think it really keeps him very youthful and very healthy. This time of year, my fiance and I try to watch a lot of movies, more than usual, because we tend to be inside because it gets dark so early. So if you have any good movie recommendations, please let me know. We have been enjoying a lot of them recently. We just watched Hunt for the Wilder People not too long ago, and we really, really liked it. It was really funny. So yeah, if you have any recommendations, please let me know. I'm open to pretty much all types of movies except very scary ones. I am a total baby, so now that I've been enjoying snow in the mornings, I've been rereading some of my favorite books. And so I recently reread The Snow Child by Eowyn Ivey, and she came out with another book called The Bright Edge of the World that I just started rereading recently. And it's very, very interesting. It's based off a true story of a expedition in Alaska, and it's fascinating. It's very different from her first book, but I've been enjoying that as well. I'm just mentioning that because I had some people reach out wondering what I was reading lately, and so I have to admit I've been rereading a lot of my favorite books. So if you have any recommendations, please let me know. Thank you everyone for the really sweet comments on my last video. It's been really exciting to think about the prospect of having a home. It's terrifying buying a home. It's, the financial part of it can sometimes be intimidating. And so I've been, my fiance and I have been kind of learning and understanding all that better to make sure we're prepared. And so we're very excited. So hopefully I can give you an update on all that soon, but it will be at least a couple months before I can give out more information about what's going on there. But I'm really excited. So thank you all for your well wishes, and I will let you know what happens with all that. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful day and that you stay safe and you stay warm if you're in a cold area like this. And if you're in a nice warm area, you can know that I really wish I was there right now. So anyway, have a wonderful evening or morning wherever you are in your day right now. And I will see you next week. Goodbye. So I was trying to show you guys how I use food coloring to paint designs on cookies. And I just started and I went to go get some water and I came back to this, which I found really weird. I wonder what happened.